Hello, it's Anya here. Just thought I'd make a video to update you on how my 7th week in Slimming World went. It's Sunday now, and I had my weigh in on Friday, and I managed to lose 4 pounds, which I really did not expect, because on week 6 I'd lost 4 pounds, and I know your body can fluctuate, and I did feel like I had a good week on week 7, but I don't know, I just wasn't expecting another big loss, and I was incredibly happy with it. It was really great. It brings my total loss up to 1 stone 10 pounds. So I got my 1.5 stone award, which I know people who go to group get a physical copy of their award, but because I'm doing Slimming World online, I get it. It's on my profile, so I save it on my phone and I'll post it up on my Instagram, which is under the name Slimming World Gal. So it's up there now. I'm actually considering printing off my awards and sticking them up somewhere in my house, just to kind of have a physical copy of the progress I've been making, something to look at and be proud of. I haven't done it yet. I've kind of been saying I'd do it for weeks, but haven't really got around to it. So yeah, weigh-in was really great, and kind of set me up. I was delighted with myself, really happy. I'd made goals. I do weekly goals, and I'd made goals for week 7, and one of them was to try and keep up my body magic, which is my exercise, and I had kind of aimed for 2 20-minute walks a day. Now that kind of worked out being my minimum each day, and I was really happy with that, and my total miles for the week ended up being 20, I have it here, 20.7 miles, which is pretty amazing for me, because like, considering when I started exercising, like going for walks, my weekly total was only around 5 miles. So to think in only, it's like 3 weeks, I think, I've managed to get my miles up to 20 is pretty amazing, and something, if someone had told me a month or 2 ago that I would be walking 20 miles a week, I probably would have laughed in their face and just said, that's absolutely insane, and no way, why would I want to do that? Sounds horrendous. But I am actually really enjoying it. I am looking forward to my walks. I said in my last video that it's kind of taught me to let go of feelings of, what's the word? Basically not to care what others think. When I push myself and go for walks, I get really warm and sweaty and red-faced, and walking so much has kind of taught me to not really care about that kind of stuff, not really care what people passing by might think of you, or, I just kind of focus on how good I'm going to feel once the walk is over, and sometimes how good I feel on the walk itself. But it's a great motivation, for me to get out walking. And I think I use an app on my phone called Runkeeper, and it maps your walks or runs, and counts up your calories and your miles, and does your how fast you walk, your pace as well. And having that kind of recorded for me on my phone, I find is a really good incentive, because I can see how much I did last week, and part of me is just kind of like, just go out and do as much as you can. But then towards the end of the week, as I see my miles kind of adding up, I'm looking at it going, you know, if I just do another 2 or 3 miles, I'll have beaten my last week's total. So even though I'm kind of being relaxed about it, there's also part of it that's slightly competitive, and just being competitive with myself, wanting to see how far I can push myself or motivate myself. So that's really been great. And the 4-pound losses kind of started when my exercise was increased. Excuse me. So I'm thinking, you know, obviously it makes me feel good anyway, but I'm thinking it could really help me both mentally and with my weight loss. So really wanting to keep that up. I've actually written a list here of stuff I'd like to talk about on this video, because the first video I made last week, I was so nervous. I'm slightly less nervous this time round, but still not really used to looking at myself and talking at myself. But yeah, I've made a list of things that I kind of like to talk about in this video, just touch on a few things about my week and just kind of general Slimming World stuff. So let me see. Yeah, so Friday was my weigh-in, and my wonderful boyfriend Joe was going to be coming out to my apartment to stay for the weekend, and he's been absolutely amazing with supporting me with my weight loss journey, and he's just been such a great support, really. You know, he'll text me and ask how I'm doing, and he's interested in what I've been eating, and you know, how I'm feeling about the whole thing, and says how proud he is of me, and he obviously says that he'd love me, you know, whatever weight I was, you know, but he's really supportive, and especially when he sees how happy it's making me, you know, it's obviously making him happy too. So anyway, he was out on Friday, and it had been his birthday, and he wanted to take us out for dinner, but we hadn't seen each other in a few weeks, so we decided that it'd be nice to have a takeaway at home. It was the first takeaway I'd gotten in 7 weeks, and decided to get some Chinese, and it was actually pretty amazing, because even though in my mind this is a massive treat, takeaways really, you know, it's a total treat, even though that was the case for me, I was able to stay well within my sins. I got a chicken chop suey with boiled rice and some noodles, and I had 5 prawn crackers, and it ended up being only 7 sins. So it meant that afterwards I was able to have some chocolate, and I was really delighted about that. But yeah, I guess that's one thing about Slimming World that is so different to every other diet, you know. You're when I say even you're allowed to have stuff, I guess it, you know, you can still enjoy yourself, so long as, well, not even so long as, you can decide whatever you want to do, but basically you can treat yourself like that, but try your best to make the best decisions, to try not go totally overboard on your sins. And I know for me it definitely made me feel a lot better about having a takeaway. I know if I'd gotten something that had a lot more sins in it, I probably wouldn't have felt too good about eating it. But I really enjoyed it, and it was really nice and felt like a real treat, and being able to have some chocolate and goodies afterwards was really nice as well. So basically my weekend was lovely with Joe, and had lots of catching up to do, and yeah, we were able to do Body Magic, went for a big walk yesterday, and I've kind of brought my Body Magic up over my last week's miles, so that was really nice. Joe was actually saying that he'd noticed a difference in me, about how much energy I have, and I've noticed it as well. Before joining Slimming Worlds, I was kind of sluggish generally, you know, anything that involved a lot of walking or, you know, getting up early. I was just kind of like, ugh, no, not really bothered. But, you know, in the morning I'm waking him up. I'm like, come on, let's get up. I'm going to make some breakfast. You know, what you want to do? Let's walk, you know. Instead of getting a bus that's close enough to my apartment, I'd be like, oh, come on, let's walk, you know, half an hour to the next bus stop or a different bus stop. And even little things like that I've noticed myself wanting to do, which is really nice. I'm a lot happier, I think, than I was. I just feel better generally, I think, and it's really nice. So yeah, that was another good thing. Yeah, also in the last kind of week or so, I've met a few people whom I haven't really seen in a while, and they said they were able to notice that I'd lost some weight, which was really nice. It's kind of weird. I think people feel a bit weird about saying it, because they don't want to offend you, you know, even though it's not really an offensive thing to say. But I guess talking about someone's weight, whether it's good or bad, sometimes people can find a bit awkward. It's strange getting compliments like that, you know, because I can see it now in myself, you know, things are a bit looser, I'm feeling kind of lighter, you know, but it's strange to have people actually say it to you. It's nice, you know, it means it is noticeable, but it's strange, but a really good feeling. Let me see. Oh yeah, okay. I had an Instagram comment recently from a lady who I hadn't really seen on Instagram before, but she'd asked me, how do I do what I do, you know. I presume she kind of meant about staying motivated, sticking to plan and stuff like that. And I was trying to think, you know, for me, I guess I'm like really determined now, you know, and this is something that I really, really want to do, and Slimming World has made me see that it is possible. Also following so many amazing people on Instagram and seeing their journeys has proven to me, I guess, how possible it is, you know, if you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to work hard and motivate yourself, and, you know, it can be done, you know, and so many people have done it and are amazing for it, and it's really inspiring to see that. So I guess having that behind me, also I'm fairly, well, I wouldn't even say that I restrict my sins in such a way, but for the first time in my life, it has kind of clicked in my brain about the type of food I eat and what's good for me and what isn't good for me. With Slimming World, it's made it a lot easier for me to choose healthier options and save my sins for things that I really want to eat, like, you know, a chocolate bar at the end of the day with some tea, or a packet of crisps, or, you know, that odd takeaway every now and again. So it's given me that, but also I guess I've developed a real love for cooking and food and trying new stuff out. So I found having variety in your diet is really key, I think, for me anyway. I know on other diets it could end up being quite samey, you know, lots of salad, lots of dry meat, everything was kind of bland, you know. It was probably just me, you know, and how I was thinking, you know, a diet, you kind of have to deprive yourself to lose weight. But with this, you know, the food I'm eating is delicious and it's made from scratch. And yeah, I haven't eaten such nice food in my life, I think. So I think that is really helping me keep on track as well, you know, because I'm full, I'm satisfied, I'm looking forward to cooking meals and stuff. Also, I tend to not leave my house without at least 2 pieces of fruit in my bag. I've become a fiend for Tupperware, and even today, Joe was going home and we were leaving, and he was helping me pack up a few things, and I asked him to stick some grapes in a Tupperware container for me to keep in my bag, and even like things like that, you know, I just automatically do that myself. He offered to help, so I was like, okay, this is something he can do for me, and it just made me think that it's funny. Obviously I used to never do that, but it's something that I've kind of just gotten into my routine of never being caught without something to eat, you know, and fruit for me is a really good way of stopping hunger. You know, a banana, an apple, grapes over the space of a couple of hours fills the gaps, you know, and a bottle of water as well. So that's one thing, I guess, being prepared, you know. Another thing for me that helps is every night since I started, I've written up a food diary of the day, my sins, my hex A, my hex B, and what I've eaten. And after I write up what I've eaten, I will then sit down and write up a meal plan for the next day. Now, I'm kind of astonished that I've stuck to doing that. This is week 8 now, and I'm still doing it. It's again part of my routine. It just seems normal now. But I find that really helps me. You know, I'm never stuck being like, oh, what am I going to eat, you know? And I could be hungry and, you know, this is all just laid out for me. You're going to have this and this and this. And then snacks are kind of my own decision during the day. And I just try and keep my stock of fruit and veg and stuff. Everything stocked, you know. So yeah, sorry, I'm just realising that this is an incredibly long video. So I'm going to wrap it up. The last thing I want to talk about is my goals for week 8. I've yet to put them up on Instagram, but I'm going to now. So my first goal is to keep up my body magic. Exercising is really helping me mentally. Not sure what kind of loss I'm going to have next week, but for me, I think I said on Instagram recently that it's become more not only just about losing weight, it's kind of bettering myself, bettering my mental health, upping my fitness levels. You know, if I manage to do that, I'm going to be happy. So even if the scales doesn't say I lost weight, you know, if I've eaten delicious food, if I felt good about exercising during the week, I'm still going to be happy enough, you know. Obviously a loss is always nice, but it's not the end of the world for me if I don't have a big loss. So I try not to estimate what I want to lose or set a goal for myself to do with losing pounds, because I feel it will just kind of put unnecessary stress on myself. So yeah, keep up the body magic. Try one new recipe. I'd also like to try and mix up my Hex B, thinking maybe flapjacks, or seeing recipes for Weetabix muffins. So I'm thinking about maybe trying them. I want to eat more fish. I love salmon and I don't eat enough of it. So at least one meal this week, I'd like it to be a fish meal, or even tuna for lunch or something like that. And the last thing is I would like to research, basically price an exercise bike for my apartment. I don't really have that big of an apartment, it's only a 1-bed, but I think it would be really nice for me to see, you know, is this affordable for me to have an exercise bike? Because as we're coming into the winter months, even though I'm really enjoying walking, there will be some nights where it's absolutely lashing rain, and I just, you know, if my motivation's lacking in any way, I may not go out. So I'd love to have the option of cycling at home, you know. So I'm thinking about hiring one initially and seeing how much I use it. And if it goes well, then I might think about buying one. So yeah, basically one of my goals is to research that. So yes, this video is now 20 minutes long, so I think it might be time for me to wrap up. I can safely say I wasn't as nervous during this video, which is good. I want to thank everyone for their support on Instagram, on here. It's just amazing. It's really amazing, and you're all great. All your own journeys, especially what I've seen on Instagram, are all amazing and really inspiring, and oh, I don't know, it's just amazing. The amount of support is, I don't know, overwhelming, but so lovely. So yeah, I hope you all have a really good week, and looking forward to seeing all your delicious pictures on Instagram and hearing about your weigh-ins and just general news and stuff. It's really amazing. Yeah, so till next week. Yeah, bye.